amper sit ek hierdie stoel mis. This is our Wow That Actually Happened, part 3, 4, next part. We are preparing to have guests on the show. So we are going to film this interview style, sitting and not looking at the camera. So that it would be easier for them to talk to us, one of us sitting there. So there's going to be a huge difference in the way we do it. It's going to be changing from me looking at the camera to... Alright.
Wow, that actually happened!
Back in before I really cared about... This is going to sound harsh. Before I actually cared about God, I guess that's a very harsh way of saying it. Like the reality was there, but it wasn't, But anyway, one day I heard that someone had this awesome encounter with God, and what they did was they gave up time that they would usually be doing something else, and then, started looking for him, in other words. So what I did was I waited until about 2-3 a.m. in the morning. I wanted to see for myself. This is very strange thinking of this now. So basically what I did was I thought, okay, I'm gonna stay awake because I don't like being awake at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. So I did it. I gave up my time. Basically, I just was gonna wing it. I didn't really have a plan. My whole life, I never felt God's presence really. I never really felt anything. It was always just, like we'd see miracles around me, things like that. But yeah, it wouldn't really be, I guess, real to me, even though I would see these things happen. So I wanted to have an experience where it's real to me. So then basically I stayed awake until I think it was 3 around there. And I asked God to have a really cool encounter with me because I wasn't sure at that time what was going on. Why I was always excluded. I was always on the outside of, the reality that is God. And that sucked. It wasn't a very nice feeling. Then basically it was 3 a.m. and I started praying. I started feeling words coming up, to me. Like I didn't hear it with my ears, but I felt the words. But this will make more sense when we speak about how to hear God's voice. What I heard then inside was, I want you to do something that you've never done before. And I was like, all right, well, what's that? By now I knew it was God. Basically he said to me, I want you to worship me. And I was like, how do you do that? I've never done that before. At that moment, the room kind of started filling with this really intense presence. That's the only way I can describe it. It was so intense that I eventually ended up sitting on the floor, on my knees. And it just started getting heavier and heavier. And after a while, I was there and I just started closing my eyes. I don't really know why, but I did it. I felt those same words again. And this time it said to just raise my hand. My eyes are still closed. And then as I did it, all of a sudden, straight through my eyelids, I could see someone standing there. I can only describe it as fire, like someone's outline there, but it's just fire. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this, but it was crazy. And then at that moment, he grabbed my hand, and obviously I panicked for a little while there, but I wasn't scared. It was very strange. It was really intense experience, but I wasn't scared. During that, I really wanted to open my eyes, but I don't know, I was too scared to open my eyes, and I could already see the person straight through my eyelids. So I can only imagine how bright it was in the room at that time anyway. Well, yeah, I guess if I could do it over, I would definitely open my eyes. Yeah, definitely. As for who it was, in Acts 23:11 is one example of many examples where Jesus actually appeared to someone after his resurrection. So after the resurrection, after he went to heaven again. So as for who it was, well, I believe that was Jesus. If you are supposed to be doing all the things in the Word and then all those amazing things happen because you're acting on it, these things should be normal. Visions, seeing miracles, all these things, that should be part of everyday life. And luckily, it can be.
Waar praat ek nou weer? Dood ernstig. Quite a while ago, my grandmother had an car accident. As far as I know, this person had a heart attack and obviously crashed into my grandmother, and it hurt her back really badly. And my grandmother's back was skewer, I guess you could say, and she was in a lot of pain. Over the years, she's been dealing with the pain, and yeah, she had like a back brace that she had to wear. My grandmother came to visit us, and my mom prayed for her. She put her hand on my grandmother's back, and she heard popping sounds. Obviously, the healing power of God went through my grandmother's body and pulled my grandmother's back straight again, and well, basically healed her. That's pretty amazing because now she has no pain in her back. The cool part, we saw some photos of my grandmother. When she went back home, she was taller than my granddad, which wasn't a thing. If these things sound unbelievable or impossible to you, believe it. It's possible, it is reality, it is God. And if you start reading these things for yourself in the Word, it starts to become a reality to you. You start experiencing these miracles in your own life, and it's something you don't want to miss. Alright, so we are working on getting some guests for the show so they can bring their testimonies and amazing stories. We have an account set up where you can send in your testimonies, of course, if you want to. Let's say you live in Germany, then you can send us your testimony and we'll happily share it, yeah.
Do a like and subscribe rap.
Tempting.
Wait, snake poetry.
Snake poetry.
Subscribe.
Like the video, leave a comment, let us know what you're up to, please. We would love to know. And yeah. Woo!
What was that?
Dat was ons outro. My ouma het uit haar rugpyn gehad en nee, ek dink dit was lewendig nie.
Guess it is sugar coated already.
Woo!